happen to us as children and what we've gone through in our adult lives, be them good, bad, or ugly, are all to get us to this moment. And this moment is beautiful. Every single one of you here are brilliant, beautiful people, and you wouldn't be who you are today if it wasn't for your past. So there is some good that comes out of maybe some difficulty, and there is a whole lot of good ahead of you because of what you're paving the way for now, which is to love at the deepest level of your being. What I want to get at is, how do we love at the deepest level of our being and not let things block us? And we're going to go back over these blocks. You know, religion, what a block. How many how many people have had your door knocked on, and there's people in suits, and they're not the IRS, standing there wanting to talk to you about Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior? Okay, what's your response?
You're very well trained. You do a great job. I'm getting weak.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite response is a friend of mine who's a medicine man. He invites them in. And, oh, come on in. Sits everybody down. They're real excited. They're going to get to do their spiel. Yeah. Goes and gets the cedar and the smudge bowl and a big eagle feather and comes out and starts smudging everybody. And he's taking it over all these, you know, and he's like doing this whole thing, and they're like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm practicing my religion. This is my religion. This is what we do. And turns the tables. It's brilliant. And they get up, and, I mean, they don't even know what to say. They get up and they leave. It's like, oh, okay, sorry. And, you know, they're gone. But how, you know, it's like, how do we find it in our hearts to love people who maybe practice something that we don't agree with? You know, in our culture right now, unfortunately, the Muslim community is really targeted, and inappropriately so, I believe. I can think of a time in history when Jews were targeted, inappropriately so. I can think of a time in history when women who practiced being metaphysicians and healers were targeted, inappropriately so, and burned at the stake. I remember that. And I also can think of, you know, all kinds of religions and cultures that have been targeted, and still to this day are targeted. So how do we experience what it is we want to do by loving other people? Let's say you're in the airport. You're walking through the airport, and there's a whole bunch of people that are coming past you in the airport who are dressed different than you are. What's your first response in your mind? Difference. Do you contract? Do you kind of pull back? Do you feel fear? Do you go, ooh, they're weird. Honey, look at them. You know, I mean, do you go through that kind of separation feeling? Most of us do. Most of us do. I mean, that's really the truth. Most of us do. And the biggest thing that keeps us from loving at a deeper level is that we separate. We separate out from one another. We're either for the ducks or we're for the beavers. There's the separation right there. Okay? We grew up Norwegian. We don't like Swedish people. I don't know why. I was just taught that as a child. You know? Oh, you don't like, no, they're Swedish. What does that mean? I didn't grow up in Norway. You know? But that's what we're taught. You know, you grow up on the Indian reservation, you're Hopi, you don't like the Navajos. They took your land. It's everywhere, and it is totally about separation. We separate all the time. When we're children, we naturally separate from our parents. They go from being God to being our parents, to being my parents, to being, you know, I love my parents, but they're people too. We go through these stages of separation with our parents. It's natural. But we're taught as children, you know, to be competitive. We're taught to go play soccer. And then all of a sudden your sibling wants to play soccer because now there's competition between you and your sibling. Well, we have to do the same thing because we're taught to compete. Competing is is good. Competing's healthy, right? But what competing is teaching us is it's teaching us to once again separate. I won, you lost. I'm better than you. You know, you got a B, I got an A. We're constantly separating. So we're teaching our kids this, we're teaching our society, our whole community. You know, the Methodists are putting on a great smorgasbord, and, you know, the Catholic Church does a soup kitchen, and there's a competition on that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's everywhere. And it is that separation that keeps us from loving at a deeper level. Because right away, in our culture, in our society, in our religious groups, whatever it is we belong to, we prescribe to, boom, we are in that template. We're in that mode of thinking. Oh, well, I can't go over there. They're Catholics. You know? Where did that come from? Who put that in my head? That's what I'm getting at. I really want everyone to take time to dissect your own thinking. Where did that thought come from? Why do I have that thought? Why do I feel that way about Swedish people? I like Swedish meatballs. You know what I'm saying? It's like I like IKEA's furniture. I don't have a thing with Swedish people. So that's what I'm saying, though. We grow up believing and thinking these things. And how many of you can think of something right off the top of your head where you have separation with an issue? Yeah? Does anybody want to share?
Sure.
Victoria.
I feel like I want to go to the churches where Black people are, like on the somewhere
Like a
on
Baptist
the
church.
Northeast.
Yeah.
I don't even know the words. I'm so separated.
It's a
I can't even
Baptist
think of
church.
the name. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Baptist churches where everybody's
Yeah.
you know, singing and rowdying. I want to go
Soul.
there. But pardon?
Has soul.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go and say, tell everybody I love them and I want to be part of the community and I want to, you know, visit and sing and tell you I love you. But I'm kind of scared. I'm like nervous because that separation seems so huge that
Exactly.
I feel almost like a freak for wanting to go.
Right. Right.
And yet you go and you see other people like you are.
And it would be okay, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I should do that this year.
Christmas time's a good time to do it.
It's
Well, there are hundreds of thousands of us who are not going to the goddamn Civil War.
But there's a couple of us that are.
Well,